In 1980, I was at Ole Miss. I will pause for massive applause. I was at Ole Miss, and I had a class in Southern culture from Dr. Tim Ferriss. And he was someone that said that we have history all around us. We need to find it, we need to embrace it, and we need to learn from it. And a few weeks later in town, and this is 1980 now, in town in Tupelo is an autograph show, and DJ Fontana is there. And I introduced myself to DJ. I'm a very young man at this time. And I introduced myself to DJ, and I said, you know, they just opened a new chapel at Elvis's birthplace. And DJ said, well, I'd like to see it. And I said, I'll drive you. And so he loaded into my mom's Mercury Marquis, and 20-year-old me took DJ Fontana to Elvis's birthplace. He was the very first person in the Elvis world that I met. And years later, I reminded him of that sweet, sweet story, and he looked up at me with those DJ eyes, and he goes, I don't remember that. I'll never forget that. But we have a great love of DJ here in Tupelo. He was a part of this festival for so many years, and we lost him a few months back, and we love him very much. I've been listening to those songs this week that DJ played on, and I've been thinking about him and all the times that he would play with the tribute artist on this stage and over on Charlie's stage, and we miss him very much. So we've put together a very special video to remember him, and then following that, the mayor has a very special presentation. So let's remember Dominic Joseph Fontana.
Did y'all have any inkling at the time that you were changing the face of music forever?
No, I call this a bunch of hillbillies, you know, just getting out there. And Scotty was like, he liked a different type of music. Bill liked a different type of music. I liked a different type of music. So I guess we just interwove it, you know. Maybe that's why it worked, I don't know.
Well, it's a 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my boots, baby. Till get this thing back on the baby. You're driving me down, slapping my face, slapping my name all over the place. Doing this thing that you want to do, but honey, they hold my
Now, when you were drumming for the Louisiana Hayride, is that right?
Yes, I was drumming down there for 2 or 3 years, you know.
And you met a kid that had a pretty big impact on your life.
Well, I met Elvis Presley at the Louisiana Hayride. I was a staff drummer, which was a Saturday night deal for anybody. And Scotty Moore, Bill Black, and Elvis, they had a few records going around Tennessee, Arkansas, and Louisiana at the time. And I'd heard the records on the radio, there was a lot of play. And they come in, they invited them to come in for, well, 1 week they come in and they said, well, we need a drummer. I said, well, I don't really know what you guys are doing, let me hear what you're doing. So we went back to the dressing room, kind of talked it over a little bit. And we come out and somehow or another it clicked. You know, they had used other drummers and they wasn't happy with them. And for some ungodly reason it happened. And so they kept me on.
All right, Dominic Joseph Fontana, Hall of Fame rock and roll drummer, with a special presentation. I present again, Mayor Jason Shelton.
Thank you, Tom. Friends, what you just saw, the video that you just saw, is part of American music history. It's an amazing, amazing thing. You know, sometimes we think of Elvis Presley sort of as an island, you know, because you say, well, Elvis did this, or Elvis accomplished that, or we have the Elvis Festival. You know, when you think about Blue Suede Shoes, Jailhouse Rock, Hound Dog, when you think about the Ed Sullivan Show, when you think about the 1968 comeback that, you know, recreated American music, you know, the modern era of rock and roll superstars being on television, you think of Elvis. But Elvis didn't do it alone. Elvis had a lot of help from a lot of great people. DJ Fontana was there for 14 years at the height of the fame, the best of the music of Elvis Presley. You know, Elvis may have done just fine on his own, but I can't help but think that DJ Fontana had a lot to do with the success of Elvis Presley. He was always by his side. I would like to ask David and Karen Fontana, please come join me at this time. Now, before I do the presentation, I do want to say, I'm sure you've heard the rain on the roof, the thunder and whatnot. Debbie Brandenburg, our director of the Downtown Main Street Association and the director of the Elvis Presley Festival, was supposed to be here on stage with me tonight to make this presentation for her love and admiration for you and your family. She's across the street as things happen. Sound equipment's wet over there. So they're having some technical difficulties, and she's over there tending to business. As Elvis would say, taking care of business, but she's doing that. But so not just on behalf of the city of Tupelo, but on behalf of Debbie Brandenburg, the Downtown Main Street Association, and the Elvis Presley Festival of Tupelo, I want to make the following presentations. The first, well, let me start first with the on the top. These two with the bows that you see are that's the video that we just saw. So these packages are the video. The second thing I'll do is something that the mayor gets to do that you've seen me do before, but the first, the plaque, the presentation, is truly on behalf of all of us. It's on behalf of the city of Tupelo, the Downtown Main Street Association, and the Elvis World here in Tupelo, the birthplace, the Downtown Main Street Association, the Elvis Festival. In loving memory of DJ Fontana, sadly missed along life's way, quietly remembered every day, no longer in our life to share, but in our hearts you will always be there, the Tupelo Elvis Festival. Is just something that I get the personal privilege to do as mayor, is just in loving memory of DJ Fontana. I want to present you a key to the city of Tupelo in his memory. Give them a big round of applause.
Obviously not planned here. It's hard.
It's hard seeing all this. I wasn't going to do this. Coming up on a year. And, but what I guess I wanted to say to you guys is he really, really loved coming here. This is one of his favorite places to come. I guess because he knew everybody and everybody treated him well. And not that everybody else didn't. It could be because it's only 4 hours from home, too. I don't know. But Dad really always spoke highly of coming here and the fans and how everybody treated him. And you know, he spoke highly of you, John. John, I'm talking to you, John. John Crenshaw, I'm talking to you. Never mind, I'm not even going to say it. But no, Dad thought very highly of you and always come back home and said, hey, have you seen John play? And I was like, yeah, John's great, man, John's great. But man, he always talked about John. And the rest of the guys as well, Jody, because you know Jody lived close to the house. But I'm not going to take up your time, but thank y'all so much. And I know Karen's not going to say a word. But
thank you very much. DJ loved you all, love coming here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all so much.
Friends, big round of applause for the Fontana.